Running from the house with a quick kiss to Ren and Mom, I ignore her request to tie my hair up, and behave as I do not hear her advancement, as I run towards the thickets. The path there is through a basement window. I duck around the pipes, and wood to wriggle my way through its opening. The damp ground below my feet fills me with the earth's energy, and I run towards the bottom of a pine-lined gully. Tristan is there already, gathering berries from the chokecherry bush. The basket that rests in the lean crook of his muscular arm is already overflowing with his harvest. "You're late, Z," he teases, as he holds his bounty out for me to observe. I know, Andromeda, she's... I stop and search his concerned golden eyes as they dart expectantly into mine. I blink, face hot with the eye lot, and start on my hands and knees to search for any remaining chokeberries. Z? He almost sings his shortened version of my birth name. I have to go to the union pairing is all. I can't continue ignoring my duties. And I just need you to know that I heard about it, Z. We all did. My eyes strain shut as I realize my indiscretions have already been the tale of today's den. I can't be mad though, we have so few dramatic happenings that I submit to the rumors and giggle unsteadily to a seated position. "Oh yes, you're the talk of the den, Z." His hand slightly sticks to my hair as he tucks the wild locks behind my ear, causing a falter in my breathing. He locks his gaze to mine as he places his thumb and forefinger into his mouth, lapping the stained berry juices from them as I squeeze my thighs together involuntarily. "Coconut?" His smile distracts me from my secret yearning, and I greet his with a smile of my own. "We can still do this, right? Even after you are paired, we can still have this. Together. They can't take that away." The gold in his eyes darken when he mutters the pairing, and I dart my vision to the wet foliage below us. Zarah. His use of my birth name has me suffocating once again. As most of our interactions over the last couple of years grow more tense, our once innocent friendship seemingly blossoming for the both of us into a secret craving for one another. We ignore the magnetic pull that we feel at each forage meeting, because the consequences of a relationship, even a friendship between the opposite sex during our ripe age, is violently restricted. Tristan's has been paired for the second year with a union match. Union matches are intended to control reproduction of the den. Only the most prime in mind, body and ability are allowed to mate. We are paired at the union to a member of the opposite sex, residing in any den, to help increase the chances of creating a highborn child. Once paired, they are housed in the male's den location in a coupling dwelling that, in contrast to the dwellings of the rest of the den, are luxurious and furnished with everything a united couple will need. They stay in the dwelling, only allowed to leave to work amongst the rest of the people, and to receive and prepare rations with their families on ration days. Ration Day has become a joyous day of reunited families, song, dance and culture. Except for the month of the Highborn United Ball. If you fail to produce a contending being for the Highborn, you are paired with a new potential mate for the next year. When the pairing is successful and you conceive, you are allowed back into society with your partner, and kept under surveillance both in and outside of the coupling dwelling to prevent crossbreeding and potential betrayal. Once the being is born, the female in the pairing is kept inside for 2 full years to tend to the offspring. The male is kept from the dwelling during this time to assist in preventing any distraction from the task at hand. 24-hour surveillance cameras are added to the residence to help coach and survey the new mother through the upbringing of a potential highborn. During this time, a bountiful array of meats, cheeses and vegetation is offered to the new mother and child to help balance her mood and ability to raise and teach the newly born. If the child becomes a chosen elite in the first 2 years, the mother is relieved from her duties and paired back up with her mate to conceive again. If the child is not chosen, they are given to the den members that reside with the family outside of the coupling dwelling. Until a successful breeding is concluded, the family remains separated. Tristan has thankfully been successful at withholding from creating a newly born. Both of his couplings have been mandatory, and neither one of his union pairings have been fruitful thanks to the measures that both Tristan and his partners have secretly taken to prevent breeding. Despite the Highborn's efforts to discourage love and relationships beyond pairing, most of the United have interests beyond the union partnership. Grandlia, Tristan's current mate, is beautiful, almost as beautiful as he is. Her parents gave birth to 2 highborn children, who now reside with their new family in Cardinal. After the highborn children are taken, they are never seen by their birth parents, family, or den again. Grandlia's parents, however, are colder than mine. They take their duties and the pairing responsibilities very highly. Grandlia is already a failure in their eyes. The rejection as a highborn child has soured them towards her, though through it all, she was able to find love, perhaps one of the most forbidden kinds of love. Grandlia has found her own pairing in another woman, Celeste. Tristan has aided in their meetings and behaves as though Celeste is their treasured friend. I have joined the 3 of them in the markets on occasion. Celeste and Grandlia's relationship only obvious to those closest. Their chemistry is dizzying, the way Celeste steals a smile, the small hint of their hands brushing together. The tension in the air at their joining is almost palpable. They try hard to dodge the surveilling drones that hover at nearly every move. I try hard during our meetings to forget about Tristan and Grandlia together. I know they don't have a choice in the matter, but imagining them laying together sits like a rock in my middle. The intimacy is enforced by the highborn. Surveillance in the sleeping quarters allow for no fewer interactions than 2 a month to increase chances of conception. The females' cycles are carefully tracked, and the nights that are required for breeding are illuminated with a soft golden light that radiates and radiates through the entire dwelling. The light is reminiscent of a flickering fire, designed to highlight the structure of each of the bodies, allowing for their arousal to be mostly effortless. Still, even forced, the sharp knife of jealousy settles within my heart even when she's not around. I roll a plump red berry gently between my middle finger and thumb, eyes narrowed with secret pain. Involuntarily my fingers press shut and shatter the tight skin of the berry between them. The small seeds and blood-red juices erupt down my arm as I feel Tristan's hand settle on the small of my back. The bitter berry's fragrance mixes with coconut as tendrils of hair stick to my collar around the splattered goodness. It seems I have been unsuccessful in my attempts to distract any conversation and hide any hurt. Why are you always so jumpy when I touch you, Z? He whispers in my ear as I lean my head away from his mouth and savor the feeling of his breath on my neck. His voice is more deliberate than I've ever heard before. My cheeks heat and my eyes widen as he steps closer to my back, flushing our bodies together. His sturdy hand slides slowly from my back to my hip bone as the other delicately brushes the hair from my shoulder by his undoubtedly grinning smile. My eyes press shut as my skin meets his knuckles, and he slowly runs the back of it down my shoulder to my hand, still dripping with sweet red chokeberry juice. He quickly spins me around with one fluid motion, now pressed against my front as he risks. Messy, Z, always so messy. His low laugh turns into hums of appreciation as he retrieves the berry from my pursed fingers with his teeth. I stand still, slack-jawed at the advances. Our attraction has always been extremely non-evident for as long as I have started to feel it. I've spent nights awake, talking myself out of his pull, trying to convince myself that the want is one-sided. In this moment, validation rushes through my core as roughly and strongly as the hunger I feel for his lips. I watch him as his smile fades, focused on the staining of the berry's nectar on my collar. I can hear my breath quicken as he leans towards me, a bend in his neck as he savors the skin to cleanse it. My feet shuffle with lust as I am lifted by my forbidden power, and I shake with starvation as Tristan pulls me into him stronger, to prevent the levitation. Tristan. Not so fast, Zarah. I need this before the pairing. I need to feel this and to taste this. He breathes deeply before brushing his lips to mine. I'm dreaming. I must be. I scramble through the disbelief and push my eyes shut as he deepens his kiss. We both falter backwards into the soft moss lining of ponderosa behind us. A quick breath draws into my lungs with the impact, and it's all I can do to lift my slacked arms to his shoulder. Twisting my fingers into his dark hair, I focus on his breathing. His breaths are deliberate, in and out through his nose as his lips carefully search mine.